Sorry, that was really weird. I got kicked off my internet. So let's try this again. So we're talking about self. We're talking about value, right? And what I was saying is that, in value, what am I talking about? I'm talking about self-esteem, self-compassion, self-care, self-love, self-acceptance, self-respect, self-confidence, and the list kind of just goes on and on and on from there, right? At the end of the day, it all comes back to self. And how do we value ourselves? How do we, are we worthy? Do we show self-respect? Do we have self-confidence to go do what we want to do? So the problem most of the time comes down to this. It's the people that are in our lives, the friends that we choose to have, the family that we are born into. Sometimes they don't provide the nourishment we need to grow within self-respect, self-confidence, self-love, self-worth. We listen to what they say on what we can or cannot do, X, Y, and Z, and we ultimately take note of that. We believe that. So we have a dream to quit our job, go start our own business, and, we want to make 6 figures a year. But your family or your friends don't believe that you have the ability to do that. Instead of supporting you and saying, hey, I support you. This is what I think you're going to come across. This is what I think you're going to struggle with. But if you already know that, you already accept that, and you are determined to push forward, you can ultimately make your dream become a reality. Instead, what ends up happening is they feed us with negativity, and they feed us with, you're not capable of doing it. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this because you're an ex-con, because you're a felon. You can't do this because you didn't graduate college. You can't do this because you're a high school dropout. And we listen to them, and ultimately it affects us in where we go and what we do. We lose faith within ourselves. So when you're focusing on self-respect, self-confidence, self-worth, self-love, self-compassion, self-esteem, it is hard, because these are people that we think that they love us. We think that they care about us. We think that they want what is best for us. But sometimes their version of what is best for you does not line up with what you want. So you have to learn to be your own advocate. You have to learn to trust yourself to make a decision. Will you fail? Absolutely. You probably will. You probably won't succeed right off the gun. You're probably going to fail, and that is okay. It's the getting back up and going after it again. It's the getting over the hurdles that are stopping you from where you're going. I'm not saying that you need to cut those people out of your life, but you have to set a boundary of what you will and will not allow in your life. And if they are constantly feeding you with negativity, or if they are constantly telling you that you are not capable of doing something, you have to set a boundary and say, you know what, look, I love you and I appreciate you, but I'm cutting you off. I have to do what is best for me, because at the end of the day, it does not matter what they say or do. It does not matter what they say or do, because that does not benefit your life, if that makes any sense. So if they're constantly feeding you with negativity, and you constantly believe into it, and you buy into the negativity that they're feeding you, and you decide that you're not going to do what you very well may have been destined to do, you are doing a dissatisfaction to yourself and to others who would benefit from you doing what you were meant to do. So you have to put a boundary there. You have to say, look, I love you, but I've got to cut you off. When you can learn to accept what I'm doing, when you can learn to accept who I am and who I am becoming, then we can look at maybe lifting some of the restrictions and letting you back into what we do. And the same thing goes with raising your kids. Everybody who has had a kid before you thinks that they are an expert on raising your kid. This is what has worked for me, and this is what you should do. False. Because it worked for them does not mean it will work for you. Every child is different. Every child is different. They are all made differently. It's the same process to make them, but they are made differently. They are built differently. They are designed differently. There is not one child out there that is the same. Okay? You will get those people. This is what you need to do. This is how you need it. No. I don't need to do that. I need to do what is best for me and my child. And I need to raise my child up the best way that I see fit. There is a difference between giving an opinion and advice and telling somebody this is what you're going to do. With toxicity, you have to cut off the toxicity out of your child's life because you have to protect them from that. Just like you have to protect yourself. You have to be the advocate for yourself and for your child until your child is at a point where they can start advocating for themselves and knowing what they want and how they want to live their life. When you learn and when you practice self-love, self-worth, and self-confidence, going after what you want becomes a lot easier. The voices that you hear telling you that you can't do it will fade. And then when you make it, they're going to ask if you're hiring. I guarantee you many people laugh because I do videos, right? And not necessarily in this group, but this video goes to this group, and then it goes to my Instagram, and then it goes to my Twitter, and then it goes into my Facebook, my personal page. So out of all those people, I probably have 5 people that are going, yeah, dude, keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path. And then I probably have about 200 people that are saying, you're dumb, stop. You need to focus on this. You need to focus on this. You need to do this. That is not what I was built to do. That is not what I was designed to do. That's not who I am meant to be. I am meant to lead people. I am meant to inspire. I am meant to mend hearts and be a beacon of hope. That is what I am meant for. So if I continuously listen to the people, the 200 people that are saying I can't do it, and if I let the 200 people talk me out of doing what I want to do, I'm doing a dissatisfaction to myself, I'm doing a dissatisfaction to my family, and I am potentially hurting many other people. So on top of evaluating your life every week and looking back and saying, okay, am I on path to where I need to be? The next question needs to be, am I showing myself love? Am I worthy? Am I confident? If I'm not, maybe I'm showing myself a good amount of love, but maybe my confidence, my self-confidence is low. What do I need to do to boost that self-confidence? Do I maybe need to cut out some toxicity in my life? Maybe I need to put somebody on a restriction and keep them from feeding negativity into me. It is all part of the process. It's a stepping stone. Every time you step forward, you have another hurdle you have to overcome. You are not expected to be a professional in this. You will always be reevaluating and readjusting. That is okay. That is acceptable. That is how you know that you are truly growing in the right direction. Once again, my name is Matt Mills. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, if you've got some hate mail you want to send out my way, go for it. I look forward to working and helping. And if there's anything you would like me to talk about, please let me know. I appreciate you guys. Thanks.